So my name, as introduced, is Thabang Phala. Thank you so much, Matizabale, and thank you, colleagues. I just want to firstly honor the delegates that are here before each and everyone else, the delegates who have made it. Thank you so much for making it here. And then also I just want to thank the leaders who made sure that this thing happened, which is the team, the organizers. They might not be in the room now, but definitely we have seen them around. I just want to appreciate them for making sure that this thing happened. We organized this thing in a very short space of time, but we made it happen, and that's what matters, and that is important. The conversations are going to take place throughout the day so that we are able to deliberate even further. Also, I just want to thank the colleagues, the partners, everyone who made it happen. From Geek Culture to CSIR to the Innovation Hub, Zatna, ZACR, and then all the other people. I just want to thank you before I could even thank you at the vote of thanks at the end of the program. But the CEO of Zatna, Ketapeli, we call each other Ketapeli. Thank you so much for allowing yourself to be a vessel to deliver the keynote today. We are eagerly waiting to hear what you have to say. So thank you so much, colleagues. So what we know and what we understand about the importance of cybersecurity in South Africa is that cybersecurity or cybercrimes have reached, they reach about 10.5 trillion globally. These are the crimes that are actually taking place in the world. But what we also understand about South Africa is that South Africa is ranked number 3 in terms of the cyber crimes. I think a lot of our parents actually are falling prey to these scams, whether it's on WhatsApp or whether they are getting an SMS to say click here or do something. And these are some of the crimes that are actually taking place. And I think my colleagues from the Hawks later on, maybe they can even give inputs as to what is actually happening and what are the numbers, the actual numbers in terms of the cyber crimes that are taking place in the country. But also what we are seeing is that there's an increase of 33% within crimes that are taking place for digital banking. So in as much as we are saying we are moving online and we're doing digital banking, but now we are then seeing that, there's a lot of crimes that are actually taking place within that sector as well. And these statistics are provided by SABRIC. So I want you to go to SABRIC's website, sabric.org.za, so that you are able to see some of this information. They've done a number of reports around, the crimes that are taking place. Recent thing that you have seen, I think all of you in the room might know about this one, the Transnet ransomware that took place. We then understand that, from that point of view, that it costed a lot of billions, not only for Transnet, but also the service providers or even some of the people that actually work with Transnet. We are then saying that the 60% of the companies that have experienced cyber attacks in the last year alone, in 2023, we have seen over 60% of companies doing that. But what is the landscape in terms of statistics on cybersecurity in South Africa? What we are seeing is that over 3,000, we need over 30,000 skilled professionals in the workforce. So what this means is that in 2025, we need to make sure that we upskill a lot of young people. I'm glad that there's a lot of young people in the room who need to be upskilled so that they can become cybersecurity, whether or not experts or, entry-level jobs that we could create, whether you're analyst or whatever. So we need to be creating that. Number 2, we know that there's a skills gap, but it also presents opportunities. These opportunities speak to business. They also speak to people who want to enter into the employment, sector. And then what we then also see is that we need to create that youth-driven cybersecurity workforce. What this means is that young people are at the forefront of technology, they're the ones that are consuming technology. So in driving cybersecurity, we need to then work with young people. We need to get young people to learn on how to enter into the sector, whether we take them from the universities or we take them from the civil society, but we then upskill them so that they are able to enter into this sector. And that's what we need to be doing. So we also look at how youth leadership and vulnerability that is then there in the country with regard to cybersecurity. Youth are digital leaders, but also are the most vulnerable. Because they're not knowledgeable, we're not driving a lot of cybersecurity awareness. now they become most vulnerable group of individuals. But also we are seeing that a lot of attacks that are targeted at that young audience, the young people. So the financial scams that we have seen, and also the data breaches that we have seen, they've been targeting young people as well. And also we need to have a youth cybersecurity hub. What we want to do is that we want each and every young person from the different sectors to be part of this initiative that we are creating. As CyberM8, we are creating a hub where young people will be learning on how to become cybersecurity experts, and on how to enter into the sector, learn from the other peers, network with each other, expose them to also the opportunities that are there. So that's something that we are trying to do as well. Colleagues, I think you have seen that in recent times where a lot of small businesses have been falling prey to scams. Some people have actually lost, millions, and some of them have lost hundreds of thousands. A recent case we have seen on TikTok, I think a few days ago, a lady was presenting on how she has lost, she nearly lost about, 500,000 because of some email that she got that, posed itself as Department of Labor, Department of Employment and Labor. And she was able to pay those people. Unfortunately, the money went out, but through the help of the banks, the different banks, I think it was Netbank and also Capitec, they were able to get that money, retrieve that money back. But it was an alarming thing, because I know personally of somebody who has lost that amount of money. But what this means is that young people that are entering into the SMME sector, who are becoming business people, are actually losing money, their hard-earned money, because of the cyber crimes that we are seeing. So which means the real target is this young people that are actually consuming the internet, using the technology, and are actually being part of the ecosystem, the entrepreneurship ecosystem. The key role players that we have identified is that government, and what government needs to do is to shape policies. We know that we have the Cyber Crimes and Cybersecurity Bill that was amended in 2021, started in 2017, and then 2021 was amended. But also we have, other policies, the POPI Act, we talk about that. But also from private sector, what we are then saying is that they need to protect innovations that are coming up. The likes of your geek culture, they are creating hackathons. They call them safe hacks. But out of those innovations that are coming from the young people, how do private sector help to protect and actually invest into those innovations? And that's the poster that we need to be taking as a nation. Lastly, what we need to look at is the academia. From academia, we need to drive research and insights. We're glad that the likes of the CSIR, and also I'm going to announce officially that we have entered into a 3-year MOU with the CSIR on cybersecurity research. Maybe people can clap hands for that. And through this partnership, what we're saying is that we want to harness the knowledge from academia and research, and then use this research so that we can create insights that will help either shape from a business point of view, from upskilling point of view, from even awareness point of view. That's essentially what we're trying to do with the collaboration that we have created with the CSIR. But also an interesting partner that we have as well is these guys who are here, who helped us to have this event as well, the Innovation Hub. So this is now from an incubation point of view, that if we get all these ideas and private sector is fueling funds into this innovations, then how do we then incubate these ideas? We understand that the Innovation Hub incubates brilliant ideas that are sustainable and that can create jobs in the country. Essentially, we want to also create jobs through that. But what is this Indaba all about? What we are trying to do is to bring in all those different stakeholders, from government, civil society, to small businesses and the students themselves into one room. And this is what we're doing today. And then say, let's come and deliberate on the challenges that we have identified, and then come up with the strategic solutions to mitigate these challenges. And essentially, that's what this Indaba is all about. This is the first of its kind, because a lot of people have been saying that we have attended the security summit by IT Web. How different is this from the IT Web's one? And we always say that If you look at IT Webs 1, it's actually like the boys club, you know, the CIOs, the CTOs, and all those people. We don't have the voices from the civil society. We don't have voices from, you know, government. We don't have voices from small businesses that actually need to be put into the whole ecosystem. That's essentially what we're trying to do with this whole Indaba. The 4 reasons why we're doing this Indaba: number 1, we want to discuss the current challenges that we have, but also develop those strategic solutions. Number 2, we're looking at how do we then create a cohesive enhancement of cyber education, cyber awareness, and also education. Because everyone is doing things in silos. I know that CSIR has run a whole campaign throughout the month. Ourselves as well, we have run our own campaign online. Yourselves as well, everyone is doing their own things, but we want to then have that cohesive approach and say, together, what can we do? You know, how can we get also support and financial support so that we're able to run cybersecurity awareness and also education? Number 3, what we want to do is to then see how can we strengthen regulations and compliance. So lately we're having colleagues from different areas, from legal and you know, the banking sector, but how do we then use this opportunity to strengthen regulations and compliance? But lastly, we want to then create that collaboration between public and private sector. Colleagues, it's very sad that when we go to government and then we hear that private sector is not coming to party, or when we go to private, they say that no, your government people are not even answering our emails. And that is very sad. And that's the reality, because we've been sitting in over 61 meetings since May until today. We have sent a lot of communication to a lot of partners. Some of them, they had promised to come here, but they didn't make it here. And this is some of the things that we need to be fixing as well. How do we then strengthen that collaboration between private sector and also public sector? But we have set up a website. This website is going to be available even throughout every year, cybersecurityindaba.co.za, where a lot of information is going to be shared. All the knowledge that is coming from here is going to be also shared on that platform, together with our website, cyberm8.org.za. So we are calling for action. From a private sector, we are saying that invest in youth initiatives. That's what we are asking. Invest in youth initiatives. But number 2, open business opportunity for SMMEs from an enterprise development. There's a lot of young people that are in the ICT sector, and they need to be upskilled so that they can become service providers. It is not only that we are allowing Orange Cyber Defense, or we allow AWS and the other colleagues that are supposed to be rendering services for the municipalities. How do we get these young people who are rendering IT solutions, upskill them to become service providers in cybersecurity? Then we can then plug them into the system. And that's what we're asking from private sector. Number 2, from government, what we're saying is that shift policies towards skills development. I know we talk about 4IR all the time, but are we really working towards upskilling people, young people, towards, you know, cybersecurity skills? And that's what we need to be doing. Fortunate enough, also an announcement that I need to make as well, is that we have created a collaboration with MICT CETA, who are going to be our partners also for the next 3 years. I think if you're not jealous, you can clap hands. Essentially what we're doing as well with this is that we understand that a lot of focus is on the general ICT skills, but we are then saying this critical industry is being neglected, which is cybersecurity. And this is what we want to do with these initiatives, where we upskill young people to take advantage of the opportunities that are available for them. But also government enable SMMEs to participate within cybersecurity opportunities. By enabling, we are just saying creating those platforms, create the platforms for young people who are in the sector to take advantage of those opportunities. Lastly, from academia, we're saying that drive innovation as much as we can. I think last month we were sitting here with the Minister of Science and Innovation, Professor Blade Nzimande, and we were launching the state of innovation in the country. And the stats that came out are very shocking, that we are not even contributing even 30% in terms of innovation in the country. And the minister even called for us to do a summit next year towards speaking about what can we do from all these different sectors towards innovation. So we are saying that from academia, let's drive innovation, but also provide the necessary research that is important. Lately, we have CSIR to do so. So we look forward to working with you to make sure that we have a safer South Africa. Thank you so much, colleagues. Enjoy the Indaba.